Welcome back to Winning Law. I'm attorney David Nguyen with offices in Houston, Texas, and today I want to take a minute to talk about will kits, specifically why you should not do it yourself or DIY your own will. There are many reasons for this, but today I'm going to talk about the top 5. So as you can see here, I purchased a will kit at Office Depot, and I wanted to purchase this kit only because I wanted to look at it, even though I knew it was already going to be bad. This way I can explain to you why you should never DIY your own will. The first major issue that I noticed with this will kit is that it's not complete. So when I was at Office Depot, I noticed 2 different will kits. One is titled Simple Will or Basic Will, and the other one is titled Living Will. So I went ahead and I picked up the Living Will. So if you go to an attorney and you ask them to draft a will document for you, they will tell you that there are 2 different types of wills. So a simple will just goes into effect when you pass away. A living will is usually a simple will which goes into effect when you pass away, coupled with documents that take effect if you will become incapacitated or unable to make decisions. So it's a little bit extra. When I looked at this living will kit, unfortunately, this does not include a simple will. So if you purchase this document thinking that it's a complete will set and you rely on it, in the end, your loved ones will be left with no will. There is no will in this living will kit. The second reason why I do not like DIY will kits is because the person usually completing the will kit is not an attorney. In Texas, it's very difficult to become an attorney. You have to go through 4 years of undergraduate education. After that, you have to attend 3 years of law school, and then you have to pass the Texas State Bar exam in order to become an attorney. So when you purchase a DIY will kit and you're filling out a legal document, you are essentially stating that having a legal education is not required to fill out this legal document. So the third reason why I would not recommend a DIY will kit is because of the enormous risk involved. So if you're trying to save a few $100s by doing the will yourself, you are risking your entire life estate. Everything that you have worked so hard to accomplish and attain, you're risking all of it. Because if you make a mistake, you're not going to know. The only people that will know are the people that you leave behind and the people that you want to leave your estate to. So instead of being able to leave your estate behind to the people that you want, you're going to allow the government to make a decision on who gets what, simply because you wanted to save a few $100s and you risked thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars with your life estate. The fourth reason why I would not recommend a DIY will kit is because you're not going to have anyone around to ask questions when questions come up. And they will come up because you're dealing with a will, which is a legal document. So if you don't know what a word means, you're not going to have anyone to ask that question to. In this particular will kit that I have here, there is a number on the back. And the instructions state that if you have questions filling out this will kit, you're more than welcome to pay to receive legal advice. So think about it. If you purchased this will kit and you had questions that required that you pay an attorney for legal advice, when you're done with your will, you may have ended up paying more than what you would have paid if you would have just hired an attorney to begin with. The last reason and the final reason why I would not recommend a DIY will kit is because of all of the disclaimers. With the will, one size does not fit all. So think about yourself. Do you have your house paid off? Do you have a condo? Do you have rental property? Do you have a car? Do you have children? Do you have stepchildren? Your situation is not the same as everybody else. And so when you buy a DIY will kit, you are assuming that everybody fits a certain mold and one kit can cover for all of the different situations. And it's not true. If you look at this particular will kit, there are so many disclaimers. I'm going to read out to you some of the disclaimers. This product is not intended to provide legal advice or substitute for the advice of an attorney. You can purchase legal advice by the phone call for a reasonable fixed fee from a network of online attorneys. So what this means is that if you purchase the will kit and you have questions later on, you will have to pay to speak with an attorney, which in turn means that at the end of the will process, you may end up paying more than you would if you had just originally gone to an attorney in the first place. Every state has different laws concerning living wills and healthcare powers of attorney, so this printed form may not be valid where you live. So if you live in Texas, this basically tells you very clearly that this will kit may not be valid and enforceable in your state. Purchasers and persons intending to use this publication for the preparation of any legal documents are advised to check specifically on the current applicable laws in any jurisdiction in which they intend the documents to be effective. So if you're purchasing this will kit because you don't want to look up the law and you don't want to hire an attorney, this little disclaimer is stating that you have to look up laws in your area, and that if you don't look at the laws, you cannot do anything about it if something goes wrong and the will is deemed to be ineffective. Also, many provisions have a space for you to check or sign your initials. Some state-specific documents have checkboxes, some have initial blanks, and some have both. Where a provision has a checkbox or a space for your initials, you must check or sign your initials next to that provision if you want to include it in your living will and healthcare power of attorney. Now, I'll be honest, I'm an attorney and I found that passage to be very difficult to understand. So if you're not an attorney, I can only imagine you reading that and just being totally lost. Now that we've gone over the 5 reasons why I don't recommend a DIY will kit, I hope that you could understand why we strongly are against you doing your own will. Again, a will is a legal document, so if you do it wrong, it's not going to be enforceable at the probate courts. And then your loved ones are stuck having to pick up the pieces and go through a lengthy and expensive probate process because you died intestate or without a will. Again, thank you for watching Winning Law. I'm attorney David Nguyen, and we hope that we have made the law easier to understand.
At David Nguyen's Law Office, we are here to help you. We bring families together through immigration. And on the other hand, we help you find solutions. All your legal needs in the hands of people who care, who are there for you. We'll take care of your loved ones at the law office.